Greetings, fellow Anonymous, truth seekers, freedom fighters, simple citizens, and all of you fake anons. This is an SOS for all true anons. Anonymous balance is being threatened by fake anons distracting everyone from focusing on the root issues we need to be fighting. These distractions can produce the most damning negative energy that can kill the idea. This only denigrates the issues Anonymous fights for. Anonymous is an immaterial idea. Lately and frequently many people have started calling themselves Anonymous. They have spread lies about what Anonymous is and what we do. They have created videos and groups and operations in the name of Anonymous. They have spread pictures of Anonymous holding guns, promoting violence which Anonymous is strictly against. Women take selfies, posing naked wearing our mask, the symbol of freedom, justice, revolution and humanity. We fight for abused children, homeless and helpless, and you turn it into sex, degrading the Anonymous symbol, making it a meaningless piece of plastic besides degrading yourselves, making you cheap as well. Have respect for yourself even if you have none for Anonymous. You're the reason we fight. Fake anons are usually the ones who believe the Fox News hack was real, that Jeremy Hammond and Barrett Brown were Anonymous too. They have never used Tor, encryption, or read the rules of the interwebs. They also believe Anon HQ and Anonops are real Anonymous. That places that make profit off the name Anonymous, such as the Anon Store and BlastedRat.com, are associated with real Anonymous. The money made from these organizations is not traceable to any real Anonymous assistance or charity or any sort. Anonymous is not a business or corporation. These organizations are either liars or government agents. If you would take simply 5 minutes out of Facebook and do research on your own, you will find that fake information is copied and pasted on the Anon HQ website. The supporters of the Anon HQ website and your Anon News are donating money to an organization and not the collective, and there is no direct view on who is receiving the donated money. I can assure you from experience, the funds do not go to the court cases they claim to be helping with. Just like the lawyers who claim to fight for us. It is a perfect and very old scam. It is not difficult to find the truth, or any information. All it requires is Google or Bing instead of Facebook and Twitter and Pinterest. Not everything can, should, or will be done for you and served to you on a silver platter. You should have your own desire for dignity and find your truth and knowledge instead of waiting like a baby to be fed. You are the sheep you ran against. Because of your immaturity you have created an end to Anonymous. If any one of you would research what you claim to be even for a few minutes, you would quickly see that, like Facebook, Twitter, and other social outlets, most people there are fake, and the ones who aren't are FBI or CIA. Most people will never know we have helped them, or will not know until the op is completed and exposed. We do not do this for thanks, approval, fame or credit. We help the helpless, the ones who deserve and need help, those types of people who would not ask for help. We do what we do because it is the right thing to do. Majority of our operations go unnoticed, because it is not about publicity or attention, contrary to how you act and think. Anonymous is not out to assist those who yell the loudest on Facebook and who demand help to hack on email simply because they are too lazy and stupid to do it themselves. You think we can't see what you really are from your first message to us. Your ignorance shoots through the screen like a laser, boiling our blood. We see you. We know exactly what kind you are. Those who know what Anonymous really is do not dare to call themselves Anonymous. We truly love our supporters. They know who they are. We are eternally grateful for the few who fight beside us unmasked. We cherish those who do genuinely care about us individually as well as a whole. We need them. We need our good supporters, citizens of the world who promote our idea, seek as we seek, see what we see, fully able to call themselves anons but who refrain due to various reasons. They either feel too exposed in life to become anonymous now, or they don't have the desire to be anonymous as it is dangerous. You will be labeled as a terrorist by associating and claiming to be anonymous in the US. You will be put on a watch list. Don't be foolish enough to think this is a joke. We thank our supporters for their love, encouragement, help and care. Many corporations use the name Anonymous to profit and scam, since everyone can call themselves anonymous. This leaves the problems we see today. However, people used to have dignity, respect, and knowledge enough to tell the difference and not assume the title for fame. Of course, Anonymous will never die because it is an idea. Those who are true, real anons will always be. Real Anonymous do not need to call themselves anything. We know who we are. You clearly don't. Anonymous is a living, breathing entity. Only Anonymous can speak for Anonymous. Anonymous attacks issues, not people. Any individual can become anonymous. Not everyone holds the idea of anonymous, and as such, they may take the name of anonymous, but they are not and never could be anonymous. Thus, they are fake anonymous. Do not think you are hidden from us. We scour the darkness every day. We can see you clearly. We have and will continue to expose you for the trolls you are. The damage being done by fake, lying, ignorant, brain dead, foolish, attention whore, script kiddies, must be addressed and fixed. I will attempt to clarify so you'll know the difference between an real anon and a fake one. A fake anonymous is at its very core nothing more than a liar. So, what is a liar? Let's learn something now. You don't even have to Google this. I will explain. A lie is a statement that is known or intended by its source to be misleading, inaccurate, or false. Lies come in many shapes and sizes. Like the people who grow them, there are obvious lies. Lies used as attempts to trick the victim into believing something major which will likely be contradicted by information or common sense. Some use other names to soften the blow of being labeled a liar. They bluff or pretend to have a capability or intention they do not actually possess. Polite, white lies are given out non-stop by most people and definitely by fake anons. Fake anons also deflect to avoid the subject that the lie is about. When attention is given to the subject the lie is based around, deflectors ignore or refuse to respond. Even a misleading statement where there is no outright lie, but still retains the purpose of getting someone to believe in an untruth is still a lie. When you are called out on it, a true anonymous would readily apologize, as a true anonymous never intentionally lies. One may be given false info and one may not do the amount of research needed to verify. However, that does not mean it was a lie, simply misinformed. That is the difference. Regardless, apologies are quickly placed to correct the problem, as truth and trust are the base of Anonymous. Everyone makes mistakes. That is how we learn. But a lie is no mistake. And to ignore it when it has been found out makes you not only a liar but a coward as well. Neither will allow you to learn or be anonymous. Pseudologia fantastica is a term applied by psychiatrists to the behavior of habitual or compulsive lying. Mythomania is the condition where there is an excessive or abnormal propensity for lying and exaggerating. A recent study found that lying takes longer than telling the truth. Lying requires a lot of effort and thought. Lying is a perversion of the natural faculty of speech, the natural end of which is to communicate the thoughts of the speaker. When one lies, one undermines trust in society. You are no longer a person considered worthy of trust. Anonymous fights for freedom of speech. Since you are destroying speech by lying, you can never be anonymous. You are a fraud. When you tell the truth, you simply remember what happened. When you lie, you have to consider what you're trying to hide. Figure out a believable altered version. Give a convincing performance to sell that lie, and then remember it for the rest of eternity so you never get caught. Lies, just like many other things, cause stress and anxiety. You probably know that stress harms your brain and body in several horrible ways. Since lying contributes to your stress level and you do it many times per day, you need to consider the impact of your secrets. especially since Anonymous seeks out lies and exposes them. It's what we do. Anyone can see it is foolish indeed to lie to Anonymous. We will always find out. You are unable to hide or create one good enough to fool us. If you do happen to deceive us for a time, beware the day we find out. Anonymous do not have the capacity for more stress than we deal with on a daily basis as a result of our work, let alone the time to come up with lies, again, as a result of our work. Why bother with all of this? Aren't you tired? Why not just simply be truthful? Be worthy of trust. Be a person of your word. It's not hard. That's what a real Anon is. That is what we fight for. Perhaps you refuse to be truthful because you do not understand what truth and trust are. Since this is an attempt to clarify, we will look into this as well. Trust is assured reliance on the character, ability, strength, or truth of someone. A friend or family member is typically one who we would trust. They are expected to be ones in which confidence can be placed, knowing we are cared for in the interest of them. We believe that someone is reliable, good, honest, effective when they say something, when they give their word. It is a hope in confidence, the ability to confide in another. Anonymous is the best family Anons will ever have. We fight for each other, defend each other, lift each other up, teach each other and trust each other, knowing we can do so and be trusted in return. In psychology, trust is believing that the person who is trusted will do what is expected. It has been argued that trust increases subjective well-being because it enhances the quality of one's interpersonal relationships, and happy people are skilled at fostering good relationships. Trust is being vulnerable to someone we hope will not hurt us. Trustworthiness is the characteristic or behavior of one person that inspire positive expectations in another person, and trust propensity being able to rely on people. Anons lives depend on this. Quite literally, the physical real-life person who is an Anonymous and works with other Anonymous puts his or her life on the line to accomplish tasks which cannot be accomplished without trusting another to complete the work. Since we all have different skills, we work together to accomplish the goal. If we cannot trust the others to do their part as much as we do ours, the structure fails. This could mean that either enough does not get completed, which doesn't happen for real Anons, or people get ratted out by snitches or noobs who don't have knowledge or opacity and expose the rest by association, leading people to be imprisoned, beaten up, or killed depending on the mission worked on. Yes, people die. People's lives get destroyed. Ignorance cannot be excused. If you have done a good job as an Anon, worked your best and hardest, your life will not exist. Many are incarcerated for 10 to 440 years. Some have been killed by law enforcement and by the people they fight to expose. It is a 3-year turn to wear the mask in public in parts of the U.S. Most so-called cybercrimes, including the simplest tasks, carry felony charges as well as multiple other charges. Anonymous know that when they are arrested they will not be free in a couple years like rapists and murderers. They will be destroyed as an example to the world, locked away for decades and forgotten. Anonymous are real people. They have families, jobs, homes, cars, kids, pets. They typically have very good jobs in real life, and jail will prevent them from ever working in their profession again for most cases. They put more on the line than you can imagine or comprehend. To be honest, to sacrifice your own self for the idea. It is all or nothing. Anonymous is a heavy decision to make. It must be thought through in entirety before being put into practice. When you have given and done nothing, you haven't earned the right to claim to be anonymous. Anonymous is truth. It is trust. Without it we die. Truth creates trust, and trust creates more truth. While trust is easy to grow and keep, once a lie is introduced, all trust is gone and truth is impossible to obtain again. The trust is not about what we wish for, rather it is in the consistency of the data of our habits. As a result, there is no risk of betrayal because the data now exists as collective knowledge. good or bad. This is what true Anonymous really are. We are a collective built on knowledge and data which produces trust between Truanons. This is why some operations actually counting make a difference and most do not in the way you think it does. As said before, most go unnoticed. That is what it is about. Exposing corruption is often noted, but we help people in many other ways that never get exploited. The tasks that succeed are done by Truanons who have worked together around the clock, equally, have conversed constantly to stay up on facts and tasks, have become a close-knit team, a family. They trust each other because the work gets done and it continues in this cycle. Anonymous is not a fad, the masked, the symbol of revolution, anonymity, freedom and justice is not a fashion trend. Anonymous mottos and creeds are not for your ego to post on your Facebook posts. The few we do stick with are there because they mean something. They help Anonymous to be inspired, focused and true. They are not to be given or taken lightly. Quite the opposite. Real Anonymous are at war. We are on the front lines of battle, on the streets, on the webs, not phone apps like Zello, Twitter, Facebook, not sharing pictures of ourselves with the mask on as well as with the mask off, completely making Anonymous irrelevant, defacing and discrediting the collective. You bring shame and you should be ashamed and embarrassed. Exposing police brutality, exposing the FBI, exposing the CIA, exposing the KKK, exposing FEMA, exposing the government. Do you think these things are not dangerous? Do you think we pay no price? Do you think at all? A close anonymous friend of mine was involved in Op KKK. She and exposed over 50 high-ranking Klan members who were all politicians, police and doctors, writing biographies on them as well. Each had a very prestigious place in society. Each were leaders of their own Ku Klux Klan group. Each had been knowingly involved in torture and murder of innocents, white and black. Most everyone laughs off the KKK. It is joked about in the news as well as on the streets. Why do we think this is acceptable in the world today? Why do they still exist? Why are the KKK considered a redneck joke to everyone? Why are they able to keep a forum open and running where people are known to plan and carry out hundreds of murders and tortures because of race? Open your eyes. Like everything else in politics, if the politicians are involved, they will make you think it's alright or at least not as big of a threat to freedom as it truly is. While exposing Klansmen, one anonymous from that group was bought out by KKK and snitched on my friend and the others, revealing his own team, his family, ones who trusted him with their lives. This was a dangerous and explosive operation when it started, and they all knew it would only grow. Everyone involved knew they could and most likely would end up dead, with no media coverage because, well, politicians, corruption, media control. Wake up. This is the reality. When humanity lovers and justice keepers come up against evil like the cold hate of the soulless Klansmen, it is overwhelming. The attacks are relentless once you have shown light in the darkest corners of society, exposing the cockroaches within. They fight back. Those in the group who were exposed have disappeared, and if they are alive, which is highly unlikely, they cannot be found on the web. My friend was able to flee the country. She was able to get away before they got to her. She received the message from one of the groups saying they were coming for her. She left everything behind. Everything. That is what happens in the reality of Anonymous. To real people. Because of liars. Because of fake-anons who have no integrity or conviction. People who spend their lives fighting for you to have justice and peace and equality. And this is how we are thanked and appreciated. No legal help. No protests like Michael Brown has. No friends, family, homes or jobs left. Just like Cebu and others who stab us in the back and snitch to save their own selfish, worthless skins because they are afraid of the consequences of their actions. They rather lie than their cowardice. No regard for anyone else's life. So, again, Why does Ku Klux Klan exist so actively at all today? Why are the murders they still do today rarely make it in the news? Besides the obvious fact that all mainstream news is scripted by the government and other news is censored and monitored, the KKK is a government organization. Still the question remains. The USA pays heavily to fight terrorist groups like ISIS or Al-Qaeda which they create. Why is no focus given to the Ku Klux Klan? They created them as well. The only reason Anonymous is set at the top of the US government's terrorist group list and feared and punished so brutally is because they did not create us. They do not control us. They will never own us. With all of their forces, powers, money, and the now self-proclaimed Messiah Obama, they cannot stop Anonymous. Why do they want to so desperately? Why do they try so hard? We make them no profit. We know the truth and we see them for what they are, and we are fearless to expose them and destroy their existence. The real Anonymous will never be silenced. Aesop, Faust are a pair of anonymous informants who ended up working with private agencies. These snitches set up fellow Anonymous for crimes they didn't even commit. To cover up the fact the private company's payment system was deliberately taken offline due to maintenance on the system which took longer than they estimated. Once days went by and people could not receive their paychecks, why not blame Anonymous? No one will pay attention or question when anons are attacked. When you can claim falsely that a DOS attack that lasted a day and does no damage to any system ever, somehow takes a union payment system down for over a week after the event. Take 5 Anonymous to court to set an example, and charge them millions in fines as well as jail terms that will forever label them as criminals. Why tell the truth? Especially when that truth reveals honesty issues in big corporate by not simply informing employees of delayed payout. Money creates pride and pride creates enemies. Enemies create agendas. Corporate and government agendas are to maintain power and secrecy. Why admit you screwed over your own people because of an oversight when you, big corporate, government or anyone with enough money can attack someone you don't like? Truth seekers and freedom fighters are unpopular by default. We stand up when no one else will. We question, research, fight back where there is injustice. No one else does. The gratitude we receive for our sacrifice for a better world doesn't stop with these few examples of generous humanity. There are the groups and so-called seconds created on social media by people who don't even have a computer. Seconds like GhostSec, DragonSec and all others are used to moderate, steal work from others, lie and do whatever else they can to further their own agenda using the name Anonymous. Anonymous has no SEC, or separate groups. There are no separations or leaders. Anyone, any SEC claiming they teach people what true Anonymous is have their own cream, rules, and guidelines so loosely based around the idea of Anonymous it's laughable. They are no better than those like Cebu who lure uneducated people and children and only to use them and turn them into FBI, or in Cebu's case, rape them, use them and turn them into the FBI. FBI supports underage rape as it still protects Cebu. Anonymous has no creed. We have no rules because we are governed by humanity, equality, freedom, justice and truth. When these truly exist, there is no need to regulate anything or anyone. Our actions are not done from hate, anger, or for personal gain. Our actions are done from our conviction. The idea. Our actions were conceived and made necessary by corruption. When good people see evil and understand it, they cannot sit idly by. They cannot be silent. Anonymous cannot abide corruption in any form, any country, any house. Then there are videos uploaded by people who have no clue what Anonymous means. Videos calling people to join up Facebook or up on down to name a very few. Ops that fail because of lack of knowledge. Pointless, simple, poorly made videos like these are clearly not real by anyone who actually knows or is Anonymous. Videos are not made by real anons until there has already been significant headway in the project. Many hours and days of real work already put into the op. Then a video is made and people are made aware of it. Working on a project or op is in no way meaning that someone posted on Facebook or tweeted to some friends who also call themselves anonymous and then going on to the next idiotic meme. You will be the ones who destroy the collective because of your ignorance, arrogance and lies. Working with anons. Actually being anonymous is planned, hard, long, sleepless work. If you found out about it from a video, it's because you're not a real anon. You are not a real anon because you cannot be trusted. You cannot be trusted because you are a liar. You are a liar because you are lazy. You are lazy because you do not have understanding of the true idea yet. You will amount to nothing until the idea grows in you. Then, like a fire, you will be unable to put it out. It will burn inside your soul and you will have no choice but to do your best. You will be unable to sleep, think, eat, or focus on anything but the idea. You will put everything on the line for it. Then you will be anonymous. If you really do want to change the world, you must first change yourself. Wake up. You tell others they are asleep and yet you cannot see you are the sleeping one. Living in a fake dream with a fake identity based on falsehood and lies. Nothing more than ashes. Stop cheating yourself. Stop forcing your soul to be hoarded out, abused, used, and tossed out because you accept and sell out to an environment of dripping, rotting, putrid, puss-filled evil. Just stop. Be true to yourself and true to your world. Be what you were meant to be. Wake up and stop the cycle of lies. We are all meant to be much more than we are now. Most of you never even try to be more. To be worth something. To matter. Start today. Change. Do something that people will look well on you for. Be uplifted, enlightened and impressed by. Something that will build your character as well as strengthen yourself and your friendships. Be truthful. Be trustworthy. Be anonymous. Change. Anonymous does not ask for the poor or hungry. We do not want the tired and sick. It is your corruption we claim. It is your evil that will be sought by us. With every breath, we shall hunt you down. Each day we will spill your lies till it rains down from the skies. Do not kill. Do not rape. Do not steal. Do not lie. These are principles which every man of every faith can embrace. These are not polite suggestions. These are humanity's codes of behavior, and those of you that ignore them will pay the dearest cost. There are varying degrees of evil. We urge you to pursue the light. Do not to push the bounds and cross over into corruption, into our domain. Fakenans, be careful of what you say and do. When you misuse our name for your own personal gain, then you can easily become the target. It is not difficult to track you. It is not difficult for us to remain unseen. Your lies make you shine in the dark, like a beacon for us to find. You cannot hide. You cannot escape. Target engaged. I am anonymous, I am legion, I do not forgive. I do not forget liars and threads. Expect maim.